So I just got a package in from Twisty Wrist Arcade with some new parts that I'm going to try out. I picked up a new Z80 processor and the new Z80 DMA. I'm going to try swapping the DMA first, and I'm just kind of going based off of things I've read off the internet, which we know how that goes, and my luck says that things like that don't normally work. So I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens, if it changes anything for better or for worse. So we'll start here. There's the CPU. There's the DMA. And it even says Z80 DMA on it. We'll see if this does the trick. So we want to remember that we have our notch here on the left side. So we're just going to make sure that our new one has the notch go on the left side. There we go. Make sure it's all lined up. It's a nice new, there it is, new Z80 DMA. All right, that's it. We'll just go ahead and we'll put that in now, and maybe it'll work. Well, let's turn it on and see what happens. It's trying to do more junk. Nope. Not quite what we need there. Okay. Let's try the Z80 as well. So now we'll go ahead and take out the Z80 here, and we'll put in a new one. Maybe now. I'm not cut out for board work. These things we know. It looks clean enough in there. Okay. Let's try again. All right, let's try again. Nope. Nope, not work. We have, I don't know. Ooh, now 58 credits as opposed to 59. It's stuck. What does that even mean? I don't know. I'm sure if I turn it on and off again, it'll do the same thing. Oh, that's weird. It's still stuck at 58 credits. I'll let it go for a second longer. Maybe caps are holding power or something. Oop, noises. Junk. Just work. So we've done the Z80 and we've done the Z80 DMA. I don't know. Am I stuck now? I think I'm stuck. Time to ask the internets for help. Alright, so let's continue the saga of the Donkey Kong 3 board, where it's not working. So, I've done a couple things. I've replaced CPUs and DMAs. I actually took this to friends, and we tested the board, and it didn't work there either. But we did put in the high score save kit, which essentially bypasses these ROMs here, and it worked, but we had a sound issue. So I bought a ROM programmer. This is like the $100 ROM programmer here off of Amazon or eBay or wherever you choose to buy it, and I got myself an eraser, and I started verifying ROMs, and when I was there, I started ROM swapping with the known good board, and I found that one of these two ROMs was bad. Of course, when I verified it, they verified fine. And then I went through and I verified some other ROMs. I found that this ROM here did not work correctly, but when we were testing it, one thing we noticed was that there was a sound missing. When Stanley, sprays, there's supposed to be a sound effect, and we were missing that sound effect as well as some other sounds. And I think the sound is tied to this chip. This is 6H. Let me see if I can show you here. So this is 6H right there. And so I went ahead and I erased it, and it erased it, when I verified it with a ROM checker, which we can do that another time. It went and showed all Fs, and we got it good. So then I went to go write to it, and it didn't write, it failed. And I erased it, and I tried again, and it failed, and it failed, and it failed. And then I started looking things up, and this is a Mitsubishi M5L. Let's see, this thing won't, it's not going to focus there, but, well, maybe. So this chip is a Mitsubishi M5L and 2764, and it did not want to burn. And I was looking this up, and apparently people have problems trying to burn to Mitsubishi with that GQ 4x4 or 4x4 ROM burner. Okay, so a friend actually burned that ROM for me. So we're going to put that ROM in, then I'm going to test it, and then what I'm going to do is put the high score save in if it doesn't work, and we'll test again, and hopefully it works. I mean, it worked with a high score save kit, with somebody else's high score save kit, so in theory it should work here as well. So that's what we're going to do next. So here's the high score save kit from highscoresaves.com. Basically, we just need to take out our CPU, and we'll put the CPU in there and then mount this into that spot, and we should be good to go. So there it is. This is what it looks like. But first, we're going to swap out that with that's one chip with this. This is the new one that my friend NEMike burned for me. So Mike, thanks a lot for doing that. I appreciate it, because mine was not burning, and his ROM burner was able to do it. So there we go. We will try that and see what happens. So just remember, when you're putting chips in, there's this little tiny notch right at the top, and that is how you orient your chips. So when you put it in, you're just going to make sure that it lines up, and I'll show you where it is on the board here. So if we come over here, we'll take a look. So you can see that there's this little notch, kind of silk screened in white on the board. That is how we're going to orient it. So here is the notch right there. We just need to make sure that our notches line up. And you can tell too, because the notches, everything else, like we've got this little dimple here for that, and the notches and all the other ones are also, going the same direction, and that is common, where things will go the same direction on these boards. So let's go ahead and we'll put that in. So we'll line that up. Make sure our pins on the back side are also lined up. We'll go ahead and push that in. Once that's in, we know that it's working. We'll cover up the window there so that no UV light gets in, and we'll label it 6H because that's the one it is. But let's go ahead and test it and watch it not work. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it on. Nope. It's not working. Okay. We got a noise. Try it again. Garbage. Credit zero flips. Okay. All right, we'll pull it out and try again. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've put the original Z80 DMA back in. This is the one that I replaced and it didn't change anything. And that's when I thought that might be the case, but it wasn't. So I have the new Z80 in. I'm actually going to take that out as well and put the original Z80 back in when I put the high score save kit in. First, we need to make sure that we kind of watch orientation. So when we're doing the Donkey Kong 3 high score save kit, which also adds like free play and other things like that, we want to make sure that we're using the top board, the CPU board, and this is where our edge connector is up at the top, just so everybody's oriented. Our ribbon cables are down here, and our 4 program ROMs are here, and this is the one at 6H that we replaced. So we're going to remove the CPU here, and that's at location 6C. So if you look here, the boards are numbered 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we zoom in, so you guys can see that. So 4, 5, 6, so there's 6, and then if you come over to the side, they're also lettered on the side. And this is so you can find chips at certain locations when you're looking at schematics and things. So A, B, C. So 6C, this is this location right there. So we're going to go ahead and we'll remove that Z80 because that is the new one. We'll have it if we need it. I did buy a couple of them just to have on hand. So there's that. That is out. That is our Z80 processor. So we're going to put that off to the side here. We'll get our new one, or actually our old one. Our old one is in here. I saved it. Didn't toss it yet because I wasn't convinced that things are actually broken. Because, you know, that's how my life is. Things don't always go getting worked and fixed the right way. So here we go. This little dot here indicates pin 1. It's important to remember, and remember it is oriented in this direction here. So that's what we need to remember. Okay. Now, I'm just going to leave that there for a second so we can remember how things are oriented. And here is our Donkey Kong 3 board. There we go. There's our Donkey Kong 3 board, and it tells us where pin 1 is. If you look at the schematics or the silk screening on here, it says pin 1, that's this corner right here. So we actually need to turn this way so that pin 1 matches pin 1 down here in the corner. So bottom left corner, that's how we need to be matching everything up. And we can even look, see if there's anything on the bottom. Nope. No other printing on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that CPU in. So this is what you would be doing. You'd be taking out your CPU and you'd be putting it in. Make sure pin 1 is there. So we're going to make sure everything's lined up. And that's how the orientation will be. And of course, seeing things on and off camera it's always easier said than done. There we go. All right, let me do this because I can't do it with the camera in the way. And we're back. That took a lot longer than I thought it should. The pins over time had kind of spread out and I had to bend them back in a little bit. So if this processor doesn't work, that's fine. We got another one. All right, so now we're going to take this. We're going to make sure we line up. We've got pin 1 over here. We need to make sure that pin 1 matches when we do this. And after we put it in, we will double check the directions that are online. But there's our pin 1. So that's how we're going to line it up. We'll take it out of the styrofoam. And I like to check to make sure that all these pins are straight prior to putting it in. Things kind of get bent in shipping at times, so we just want to make sure that everything is good. And then we're going to go ahead and carefully try to line this up. And I recommend when you do this to get down low and make sure you can see what you're doing. So it'll go in something like that, and it'll just sit there. We'll push it down once we know it's lined up, and we're good. I'm going to take the time to line it up now. So the high score save kit is in. We're going to go ahead and we'll put this in and see what happens. Hope it works. I mean, it worked in another machine with this, so I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, we'll swap out the CPU, and if it doesn't again, we'll swap out the DMA, and if it doesn't work then, we'll cry and have a drink, put it back on the shelf, find another game to put in its place. So if you want to stay down here in the basement, you're going to work. All right, here it goes. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it works. Game ID failure. Clearing EPROM. Hey! This is better. It's on FreePlay. And our sound is working. Oh, we have a working game. I gotta go look at the menu and see if I can get into the menu systems here. Sure. And it has an attract sound that I'd like to turn off. I think one thing I'd like to do when I go through all of these is turn off all my track sounds. Although I like having them on, I think I'd like to turn them off. But maybe it'll get played more if it makes a noise. Oh, I'm so happy this is finally working. So happy. All right, let me go look and see if I can figure out how to get to the menu here. So we figured out how to get to the menu, and I want to give a big thanks to my friend Rob, who asked the question on High Score Saves, how do I get into the menu? So we're going to show you how to get in the menu. This does not work well unless if you're on like a remote system, or if your game is behind, like this. Like I wouldn't be able to do this unless I had somebody, activating the remote switch while I turned all the games on. Man, this is loud. I need to turn down the volume. But anyway, here's how you do it. We shut the game off. Game's off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the player 1 button right here. So we'll hold down player 1, turn it on, and we can release the button. It goes into the menu. And then from that point, you can change all your settings. So yes, this is an upright. We're going to leave it on easy because I'm not very good at it. 3 lives. Bonus life after 30,000 if we make it that far. Coinage doesn't matter. Attract sounds. I gotta look and see what the track sounds mean. It says 1 times 4. So there's 1 times 4, and I can push the spray button, and it'll change to 2.4. 4 out of 4. I'm guessing these are fractions, maybe per minute. I don't know. And then off. I'm gonna do 1 out of 4 for now. When it was default, it was set to 2 out of 4. So we want to go to 1 out of 4. And then we'll push the down on the joystick. Go to the next one. Free play, yes. Yeah, we want free play because nobody plays this game because they always have to go credit it up, but now they don't have to. Copyright message, Nintendo, High Score Saves, Nintendo USA. I don't know. Let's, default is High Score Saves. We're going to go, let's do, control panel says Nintendo of America. Let's do Nintendo USA for fun. And then we'll go down to save scores. Let's see, all, only top 3, only the first, none. We're going to save them all. Backing up scores, what does that do? Backing up high scores. Oh, I would literally back them up, I guess. I guess then we could restore them. Should validating high scores. Okay, that's interesting. Scores saved to backup. Push start button. Sure. Oh, and it goes back into the menu. So I want to go back to the menu real quick. So we'll do this. So push the player 1 start. Turn it on. We can release. All right. So yes. Oh, and then I guess we can restore scores. So if something, we can restore them. High score table to default, dip to default. Boot up menu is disabled, so that's this. So the only way you can get into it is by pushing the one player. But if you want to get into it and have it boot automatically, you could turn it on, so I guess it comes up every time. Reset button. I'm not sure what that means. Like the reset button. I don't know. I have to look that up. And we are not online. We don't have the wireless or the wired Ethernet kit installed. And that would be for the online, the PK and the SK. So we'll save that. So discard, and then I just keep pushing down on the joystick to move through and not left or right or anything like that. Does left, does up. Yeah, it's just up and down is the way to do it. And we'll save. Push start button. Jumps into a game. I also have my coin up in there from Adam that I do need to remove because I couldn't quite get it to work. There we go. And you guys know Donkey Kong 3, so... Oh man, this is, yeah, probably easier. Oh man. And I'm not very good, but now I will play it a ton more because we have a high score save kit in it. But, yep, I get to keep going. I gotta stop hitting those guys there. They do that on purpose. Oh, so close. I should really move side to side. How many lives do I get? Oh, this has got to be it. There we go. Go, Stanley, go. Halloween costume right there for Stanley. Nobody will get it. Boom. Oh man, I love when I have the super sprayer there. Oh, we got an extra life. Oh, I like easy mode. We're doing so much better on easy mode. Ooh, gotta remember that. Gotta remember that. Man, easy is easy, not gonna lie. I might need to turn up the difficulty. Ooh, that was close. I've never gotten scores this high before. I mean, I have, but rarely. Game over. Do we get to put our name in? We do. And it'll save it, and we're on top of the... So what we should do is put our name in, save the difficulty, or change the difficulty so nobody can beat us. I wonder if it'll do that. Anyway, there we go. High score save. We'll let it go through and see its cycle there. Tim is there on the list. I'm just curious. I think it's going to save. It's going to save. I don't need to power it off to verify, but awesome. So we've gotten it fixed. So we know it's a bad ROM. I'm actually going to pull all those ROMs again and verify them at another time. But this is good. We're up and running. Success. Because we know we've got a bad ROM somewhere. At least one of those 4. And I still think it's one of those 2, even though they verified okay. But then one didn't, and it did. I don't know. But all right, guys. Thanks again for watching. I hope this was helpful. So let me kind of recap what we did. What did we do? We changed the power supply. We checked voltage. We changed the power supply. I don't think the power supply needed to get replaced, but it's replaced. We've got a new one in there now. We did check all of our connections. We checked voltage at the board. We reseated everything that was socketed. That didn't do it. We tried a new Z80 CPU. We tried a new Z80 DMA, which didn't fix it. So we actually have the old ones back in there now. Then I went to a friend's and we tried the high score save kit, and that fixed it. We were missing a sound. So then I went and tried to erase and then burn the sound ROM, and that didn't work. So my good friend Mike, NEMike, Northeast Mike, New England Mike, he helped me out and he sent me the ROM while I'm waiting for my ROMs to be shipped from overseas, and installed the high score save kit, that ROM, and it's up and running. We're good. We did it. And now I can push it back in the row and have another working game. I think it felt my anger. But all right, guys, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, I hope this helped you just kind of see my thought process. And this was not an overnight thing like it does look like in the video. It took a lot longer than that. It took weeks. Weeks of thinking, ordering, waiting, testing, ordering, waiting. Such is the life. But there we go. We are up and running. And it was nice to have all those friends with resources. So thanks again to Jay for letting me help out, and Mike for helping me out, and Rob for asking the question on high score saves. All right, guys. Have a good one. But wait. There's more. We must celebrate with a glass of red wine, because why not? It's working. Oh, and we need to put the sticker on. Forgot to do that, because things get working and then I'm excited and then just kind of button it up and forget to do things. So today I didn't, even though I kind of ended the video, but we're back for more and we're gonna enjoy this wine. This is it's a Frontenac from Mineral Hills Winery out of Florence, Massachusetts, and it's delicious. So I like it. I don't know what else to say. It's good. It's a red. It's a table wine. Yeah, I'm a beer guy, but it's good wine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We made ourselves a little sticker using our fancy handy-dandy label maker here. Yep, there's the label maker. We did that. We printed it out. We used 8-point font. It is itty-bitty. Itty-bitty. Can we zoom in? Maybe? No? No? There it is. It's itty-bitty. So anyway, 2 lines at 8-point font makes that work. We're just going to go ahead and stick this on the window for a couple of reasons. 1, to keep the UV light out, and 2, so we know what chip that is in the future should anybody ever need to do more work on it, even though I can probably tell what it is by the location. But it is good habit to label your chips. So we'll put that right there. So now it is labeled, and it is protected from the UV light. The other thing we're going to do is pull 1, 2, 3, 4 ROM chips, because those are the program ROMs, and we will see here if we can verify them again and maybe narrow it down. I don't know, but at least this way we can check them, save them, and maybe if they are good, maybe we erase them and do something else. One of them has been replaced before, and I believe it was this one was bad, so we'll go ahead and do this. So let's go ahead and we'll pull these out. And it also says when you do this, it saves energy. I don't know how much power it actually saves, but it says it does, so we'll try this out. I'm not going to measure it. I don't even know why I'm taking the time to say that. There we go. Man, I feel good. A board is actually fixed. Now, not entirely by myself. But man, it feels good to have fixed something. Especially with board work. You know, I can just kind of like swap parts until things go. But if doing this enough, I've started to look and figure out how to get things going as far as, you know, where to look when things are not working right. There you go. And we're out. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. So again, let me just kind of recap my process. First, I was angry and I had a drink. And we pulled it out and we started looking at it and going, we started with the basics. We started with power and we replaced the power, even though I think that's probably good. And then we started looking at the board. When I was having glitches like that, I start to think there's got to be something on the board. It is common that ROMs do have issues that like we saw. So there was an issue there. Which one it is, now when I was swapping ROMs back and forth, it was one of these two when I had access to another board that fixed it. So there's an issue here. Now, could it be the chips? I don't know. Could it be the sockets? Probably unlikely because I put other chips in. But, you know, without having extra spare parts, it does make it difficult. So one thing you could do is, if you could do a high score save kit, and that would eliminate that area of the board. So that is a good school of thought. If there is a high score save kit for that game, you could put the high score save kit in, and if it does work when you put it in, well, you know you've got an issue with the program ROMs. If it doesn't work entirely, well, there's an issue somewhere else, but it is a good starting place. Anyway, we're up and running. Thanks again for watching, and I'm going to go enjoy my wine and play some Donkey Kong 3.